Ufa, ufa, ufa. Karibu Karatu Kariakoo. Ufa, ufa, ufa.
So, welcome back. Some of you know me from my videos on moving to South Africa, but I recently had the opportunity to go to Tanzania. It's known for its unique wildlife, and it's even inspired some movies like The Lion King. We wanted to approach this trip with no tour guides, and we wanted to self-drive the entire trip. We wanted an organic feel for this video, so it was definitely worth it.
Day 1, Kilimanjaro Airport, drive straight to Lake Manyara.
Oh, I can do that.
You can do that.
Yeah.
And then we can start splitting it once we're
Yeah, because I will be on open roads most of the time after that. So after several days of planning, 4 flights, and a truck rental later, we took off on a week-long journey to explore Tanzania. Here's what we captured. Set out for a place called Ngorongoro Crater. So within the Ngorongoro Conservation Area lives only one group of people, the Maasai tribe. They're instantly recognizable by their red shuka robes that they wear. And they've actually lived in this region for generations, adapting to the seasonal rhythms and maintaining a deep connection to the land. The Great Migration is one of the largest wildlife events on Earth, involving millions of animals moving in search of fresh grazing lands and water. This includes over 1.5 million wildebeest and over 300,000 zebras. The animals that live inside of the Ngorongoro Crater are not a part of the Great Migration. Most of them will live their entire lives inside of this crater. This was actually formed by a volcano collapsing thousands of years ago. What's left is a basin filled with life. You can find all sorts of wildlife here, from leopards, lions, hyenas, zebras, and wildebeest. It's home to over 25,000 animals, and it's known as Africa's Garden of Eden. With an environment as delicate and isolated as this, it's often a very fine balance between survival and extinction. In the world of baboons, grooming isn't just about staying clean, it's the ultimate social tool. What's really happening here goes far beyond hygiene. Grooming builds trust, reduces tension, and strengthens bonds within the troop. Baboons live in very structured societies called troops, often numbering between 30 to 100 individuals. These troops have a strict social hierarchy, with dominant males at the top, followed by females and their offspring. They maintain their position in the troop by forming alliances and sometimes even through grooming. The females in the troop form lifelong bonds with one another and often pass their social status down to their daughters. These female networks create stability within the troop, helping everyone work together to survive in the wild. Lake Eyasi, a hidden gem tucked away in the Great Rift Valley of Tanzania. Lake Eyasi is a bustling hotspot for thousands of birds, including flamingos and seagulls. For this trip, it was just a crew of two. Myself, who shot all of the video, and an excellent photographer and great friend of mine by the name of Justin. All of the still photos you see throughout this video were shot by him, and I really couldn't have pulled this trip off without him. So Justin, thank you for joining me, and thanks for being the newest member of the Atlas Motion Works team. We made trips to many different locations around Tanzania, but unfortunately we couldn't fit everything into this video. We took breaks after long days, and we took some additional time for planning. Up next, we went straight to Zanzibar and shot some incredible content there. So there's a video on that coming very soon. Poaching and habitat loss remain significant challenges in Tanzania, threatening the nation's rich biodiversity and disrupting ecosystems. This has already driven some species to extinction, and without continued protection, other species may become endangered or extinct as well. We did about a 13-hour day at this national park. We woke up at about 4 a.m. We drove there, we made it for sunrise, did all the paperwork we needed to, and we started shooting, and we were out there pretty much all day. So while it was important to pack as light as possible, we still needed to make sure we had all the gear we needed to capture everything we wanted to get. So I'll run you guys through a quick gear list here. I actually ended up crashing the drone in Dar es Salaam on the very first day that we were in Tanzania. And since there's no way to repair a drone out there, we had to improvise.
Take off.
In this park, you'll often spot vervet monkeys, small agile primates with gray fur and a signature fringe of white hair. These creatures are omnivorous, feeding on a wide variety of fruits, leaves, flowers, and insects, helping maintain the health of the park's plant life. Their foraging habits make them key players in seed dispersal. Vervet monkeys are excellent climbers and spend much of their time in trees, although they also move around confidently on the ground. They're known for having specific alarm calls for different predators, such as snakes, eagles, and leopards. One unique aspect of their behavior is their complex communication system. They're known to use a variety of different sounds, facial expressions, and body language as an alarm for different kinds of predators. Elephant families are tightly knit, with extended members of the family taking turns to care for their young. Elephants are incredibly social creatures, living in tightly bonded matriarchal groups led by an experienced female, often the oldest in the herd. She's responsible for guiding the herd to water sources and safe grazing lands during the challenging dry season. Communication within these herds is both fascinating and complex. Elephants use a combination of sounds, body language, and even seismic signals, deep rumbles that can travel through the ground for kilometers. These vibrations allow them to maintain contact with distant members of the herd, even when they're separated by dense woodlands. Tanzania's landscapes are full of life, both known and yet to be discovered. This has been a glimpse into a few of the things that its nature has to offer. This was one of the kind of trips that I didn't actually fully appreciate until I got back home. These were some of the hottest days I've ever experienced. Driving for 6+ hours a day, getting bitten by mosquitoes and flies. For a lot of the trip, I was kind of like, why are we even out here? What are we doing right now? But I'm glad we did it. Reflecting on all the difficulties we had, looking back at all the footage, and just being excited to put together this story. So up next, we went to Zanzibar, an island off the coast of the mainland of Tanzania, and without spoiling anything, the things that happened on this trip were completely unexpected. So make sure to tune in for that video. Until then, I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.